Jamie Armstrong may have had marginally cooler conditions for qualifying Group 2. He's 0.2 of a second quicker than Championship leader James REVELER from Group 1, so Armstrong has pole position. Best qualifying performance I can remember by Harrison DARVILL to qualify on row 2 with Daniel TRUMAN. Luke Cousins is 5th, Oliver Knighton in 6th. A return to action for Ricky Angel. He shares row 4 with Glen BEARD. Rihanna Percox makes her debut from grid 9. Richard Ward makes up the top 10, and it's now 24 karts. Now the B final qualifiers join the tail of the grid. Jamie Armstrong at the ready, drops the hammer, and we're racing at Whilton Mill in the A final, and Armstrong's got the whole shot ahead of kart number 9, James REVELER. Richard Ward sticks his nose in to Rihanna Percox, trying to find a way by. They're side by side, and REVELER's going for the lead up at Christmas. Daniel TRUMAN is through to 3rd ahead of Harrison DARVILL. Luke Cousins trying to go round the outside of Oliver Knighton. Knighton's got the inside for Inkermans though. And it's a bit of a mess at the back of the field. In the midfield with Miguel Hall, that's Andrew Green on our right, who's run him out wide and over the curb. On board with Gallagher. Hall coming back on. Down into Parker, and William Murray throws it in from a long way back and loses it in the middle of the corner. There'll be some penalties at the end of this lap, I'm pretty sure. Richard Ward has got past Percox. Lauren Lassalle goes through as well. Not very gentlemanly on our lady driver, expecting no quarter and certainly getting none. Gallagher looking down the inside of Longman, can't get it done, and it's been a fairly physical start to this first final. So much so that the starters forgot to remove the cone from the starting grid. I'm sure I just saw it on the onboard camera. Gallagher under pressure, Hall coming through. So Hall now on a mission to make up lost ground. His next target is Oscar John Cook. But it's James REVELER leading Jamie Armstrong. 37 is Daniel TRUMAN ahead of Harrison DARVILL in 4th place. Andrew Green going down the inside of Glen BEARD into Parker. Did he get it done? Yes, he did. Contact there from 63, Dominic Green on Beard. So Dominic Green up to 12th. Beard down to 13th and under pressure. Oscar John Cook's gone through on Ludlam. Ludlam, I remember from Whilton Mill racing, I think in Easy Kart Juniors. So not without experience. Miguel Hall pushing on his bumper, looking for a way by. Not entirely fair driving and not very clean. Truman under pressure from Harrison DARVILL on what is probably his best showing in lightweights this season. Knighton now looking for a way by. Luke Cousins looking to pick up spots. Remember, Cousins and REVELER are fighting out the championship, so Cousins doesn't want to lose any more points than he has to. He'll be keen to get by Oliver Knighton. Knighton shows his nose to DARVILL, but isn't a serious overtaking manoeuvre. Ludlam still under pressure now from Miguel Hall and Freddie Gallagher. Gallagher gives Miguel Hall a love tap. Oh, rides up on his bumper. That's going to cost him a spot or two. Petit and Longman go through. And a contact warning for 64, James Ludlam. Lauren Lassalle running in 9th place ahead of Rihanna Percox. Knighton taking another look at DARVILL. DARVILL missed his apex. Looks as though Knighton had to check up there, and Jamie Armstrong's gone through to the lead into Parker. And Luke Cousins is losing out to Ricky Angel. Lauren Lassalle under pressure from Rihanna Percox, and she's through. So Percox moves up to 9th. And Andrew Green's moved through on Lassalle as well. Luke Cousins will be looking to try and pick up that spot back from Ricky Angel. He's side by side with Oliver Knighton. And Cousins is now on Angel's bumper, goes round the outside of Knighton. So he's back in 6th place. Jamie Armstrong leading out James REVELER. So has Knighton got a response for Cousins? We're back on board with Miguel Hall. We're still looking at the back of James Ludlam. So I'm assuming Ludlam's got back through there. Oscar John Cook ahead. Dominic Green ahead of him. Dominic Green is racing in 13th place, losing ground on Glen BEARD. David Longman under pressure from Freddie Gallagher. 52 is Sebastian Launden. Tom Powell, Mike BRUFORD in 21st place. The field beginning to spread out now into separate battles. Ludlam down the inside of Oscar John Cook, can't get it done, and Miguel Hall says thank you very much. So Miguel Hall onto the bumper of Oscar John Cook. Ludlam trying to go around the outside of the last corner. Oscar John Cook stays in 14th place. Gallagher running out wide, trying to find a way past David Longman. And it looks as though REVELER wants the lead back from Jamie Armstrong down at Ashby. And Daniel TRUMAN hasn't been dropped out of the battle for the win yet. Harrison DARVILL hanging on. Ricky Angel holding off Luke Cousins and Oliver Knighton. Richard Ward is in 8th place. Knighton tapping on the bumper, and it looks as though Ward's made a mistake and he has to show Luke Cousins the long way round into the boot complex. Runs wide at the toe. Cousins gets his wheels in front. Will he go down the inside in the last corner? Well, Ricky Angel turned in on him there. Cousins was wise to it. And he might lose out to Knighton into the turn 1 complex. And it's brought Richard Ward into that dice. Jamie Armstrong continues to lead. Cousins is fighting hard to hold off Oliver Knighton. And Ricky Angel is getting away. And Rhianna Percox is closing in. Down at Ashby, Ward takes a look at Knighton down the inside. Uses all the curb on the exit to try and keep the momentum up. Armstrong continuing to lead. Looking for a first win in lightweights. Back on board with Miguel Hall. We're looking at Oscar John Cook, who in turn is trying to find a way past Dominic Green in 13th. Cook concerned with Miguel Hall, and you've got to wonder where James Ludlam is in this dice. I suspect right on the bumper of Miguel Hall. Oscar John Cook more concerned with Miguel Hall than going forward, it would appear. Head on the swivel. REVELER within half a cart length of Jamie Armstrong. Perhaps he's got something in reserve that he's saving for later. Through Inkermans. And Cousins now has closed onto the bumper of Ricky Angel. Runs wide though, misses his apex. Fortunately has to show Knighton the long way round, the left-hander at Parker. Out of Chapman's, who's going to get the better run? We cut back to Miguel Hall and Oscar John Cook. Who's going to get the good run out of Chapman's? Well, it looked to be Oscar John Cook pulling out half a cart length. Moving on to lap 9 of this 14-lap final. Oh, and there's more going on here. Freddie Gallagher's caught up with James Ludlam. He's got the spot, and we momentarily saw David Longman, I think, trying to find a way past Miguel Hall. The battle is on at the front now. James REVELER is beginning to press Jamie Armstrong for the lead. Down at Ashby. Bit of opposite lock there from Jamie Armstrong. Will it make him too slow off the corner to defend? Well, actually he gets a good run. Perhaps REVELER was too close to take advantage. Angel. Luke Cousins, I think, was pushed wide there by Oliver Knighton, who was wise to wave him back through. Richard Ward closing in behind. He's going to launch one up the inside into the toe. Knighton runs wide in the boot section. Well, look at this dice here. Dominic Green trying to hold off Oscar John Cook. Miguel Hall, David Longman, Freddie Gallagher sweeping through the last corner. And the battle is on up front. Where to look next? REVELER looked to the inside, forcing Armstrong to cover, then cut back to the outside for a run round the outside of Christmas Corner. Couldn't get it done. And Dominic Green continues to hold off Oscar John Cook, and Miguel Hall seen enough. Whoa, there's contact with Oscar John Cook that pushes Green out wide, and Longman runs round Hall. Green's come back on and Longman's gone through to 13th. I think Green wants a penalty, but I'm not sure if he knows who he wants the penalty on. We're on board with Gallagher, who's getting a run on Hall into Parker. Down the inside, runs him out wide. Gallagher goes through. Armstrong leads from REVELER and TRUMAN. Harrison DARVILL is still hanging in there in 4th place, ahead of Ricky Angel. And Luke Cousins, and Ludlam's lost it in the boot section. The battle is on up front though. Jamie Armstrong showing James REVELER the outside up to Christmas once again. He'll be slow off the corner. Is REVELER setting them up for a move into Ashby? Through Winkerman's Lauren Lassaur down the inside of Andrew Green. And Lassaur is back in the top 10. Armstrong continues to lead through Parker down to Chapman's. Ricky Angel can't close that last couple of kart lengths on Harrison DARVILL, who's looking at his best finish of the season. Green takes the position back from Lauren Lassaur. Round the boot complex, coming round the last corner, and now REVELER has the distraction of Daniel TRUMAN. Can Armstrong get his head down and take the win? 3 laps from the finish. Ricky Angel under pressure from Luke Cousins, who's got a better run out of turn 1. Angel goes defensive. We're on board, we're looking at the back of Harrison DARVILL, we're closing in. Harrison DARVILL gets a good run out of Christmas corner. And Cousins is on the bumper once again. Down the inside of Freddie Gallagher goes Miguel Hall. And Hall picks up 16th place. Ricky Angel under pressure from Luke Cousins. And look at that, Oliver Knighton has faded, or his kart has faded in the heat. Dropped back from Luke Cousins and finds himself under pressure from Richard Ward. So Richard Ward looking for 7th place. Ricky Angel has followed Harrison DARVILL through most of this final. We're on to the penultimate lap. Can Harrison DARVILL hang on to 4th place, or better yet get on the podium? Takes a look over his shoulder. DARVILL confident enough to take the racing line into Christmas corner. Miguel Hall's picked up a penalty for that move on Gallagher. Into turn 1, he's missed his apex in the second element, but so's Freddie Gallagher as well. Back up front, and it's coming back together. We've got a 6-way dice for the lead here. REVELER covering, I think, to not to pass, but to hold off Daniel TRUMAN into Parker. Down at Chapman's. Who's going to get the run off the corner? I think it's, once again, Daniel TRUMAN looking for a way by into the boot section. We're on board with Ricky Angel. Down the inside of DARVILL, side by side at the top. He's got the momentum and perhaps gets a helping hand there from Luke Cousins to push him past. DARVILL running wide, the final lap board is out. DARVILL's down in 6th place, Ricky Angel up to 4th. Luke Cousins in 5th place, looking for a way by. Has DARVILL got a response? And Jamie Armstrong for the first time has got a couple of kart lengths on James REVELER. DARVILL down the inside of Luke Cousins, what a good move. Cousins is not happy, but that was a good, clean, hard move. REVELER closing in to a kart length on less. Armstrong now on the swivel, looking over his shoulder. It's game on at the front, and it's now a 2-horse race for the win. Cousins takes the spot back from Harrison DARVILL. Down at Chapman's. Oh, he's a bit crossed up and getting pushed along by Richard Ward, who's got ahead of Oliver Knighton. Cousins on the defensive to hold off DARVILL. Knighton looking for a way back past Richard Ward. DARVILL's got it covered, he's heading for 6th place. These are the minor places though. It's the first win of the season for Jamie Armstrong, but a 6th consecutive podium for James REVELER and a 2nd podium for Daniel TRUMAN.
Top 3 then for the lightweight class. Final number 1. This driver started grid 4, finishing 3rd. Well done, driver 37, Daniel TRUMAN. To our runner-up then, and this driver started grid 2 to finish runner-up in this race, gaining 127 championship points. He is beatable. He's finished 2nd in final number 1. Well done, driver number 9, James REVELER. The 2-hour race winner then polled it for final number 1, and Julian won the race, beating James across the line by just over 3/10. And well done indeed. A winner of final number 1 in the lightweight class, driver number 47, Jamie Armstrong. Luke Cousins getting fastest lap in that race, 53.53. Okay, well done guys, thank you very much.
Fastest lap times from the first day final set the grid for final 2. Luke Cousins could really do with using pole position to recover lost ground on James REVELER. He's joined by Ricky Angel on the front row. Daniel TRUMAN and Richard Ward start on row 2. REVELER meanwhile is joined by Rhianna Percox on row 3. Harrison DARVILL, Oliver Knighton on row 4. Final 1 winner Jamie Armstrong and Glen BEARD round out the top 10 of what is now a grid of 26 with 2 qualifiers from B Final 2 for the 14th and last final of the day. Union flag at the ready. Here we go then. The last final is underway. Who'll get that hole shot? It's Luke Cousins into turn 1 ahead of Ricky Angel. Daniel TRUMAN trying to find a way around the outside, and Richard Ward's got a run now on TRUMAN. Going uphill to Christmas corner. Look at the lead that Cousins has got. Ward looking at the inside of Ricky Angel for second, and he's through. Good move from Richard Ward. We're on board with Miguel Hall. Now Freddie Gallagher in the midfield, just to show you how busy it is. Nowhere through there. Down at Ashby. Locking up and turning in. Will everybody make it through? Well, half the field has. Down the inside of Daniel TRUMAN. Rhianna Percox is through to 5th place. Andrew Green down the inside of Harrison DARVILL. DARVILL over the curbs, losing momentum. And a chance here for Miguel Hall to go down the inside into the boot section. 3 wide with Knighton. It just doesn't work. Hall goes through, and look at Jamie Armstrong getting a run round the outside of DARVILL and Knighton. Poor couple of corners for Harrison DARVILL. Miguel Hall comes through in 9th place with Jamie Armstrong on his bumper. David Longman looking for a way by Lauren Lasaw. James Reveler's got a run on Ricky Angel, and he's through to 3rd place. Has Ricky got an immediate response? Well, we've cut away to Freddie Gallagher. Gallagher is chasing after Tom Powell in 20th place. Ludlam looking to the inside of Longman, all crossed up. Down at Ashby. Darvill getting himself back together and getting on the bumper of Oliver Knighton. David Longman trying to close in on Lasaw. I saw Glen BEARD closing in on Daniel TRUMAN there into the boot section. Gallagher goes down the inside of Tom Powell for 20th. Over start finish, Luke Cousins' lead is 1.5 seconds on Richard Ward. James Reveler in 3rd place. Glen BEARD is ahead of Andrew Green in 7th. Richard Ward has got James Reveler closing in. Back on board with Percox briefly. She's pulled out half a cart length or so on Daniel TRUMAN. Glen BEARD under pressure from Andrew Green. This is Miguel Hall looking at the back of Green into Parker. Downhill to Chapman's. And Richard Ward now has James Reveler, the championship leader, coming onto his bumper. Gap to Angel, Percox. TRUMAN under pressure from Beard and Green. On board with Hall. Looking for a way past Green as they run round the boot section. And we move on to lap 4 of 14. Cousins' lead now is down to 1.3 seconds. And Andrew Green gives Miguel Hall no room. And to be fair, we've got no guarantee that Andrew Green knew he was there. It was an odd place to be sticking his nose in for Miguel Hall. The battle on for 2nd place. And Luke Cousins will be hoping that Richard Ward can keep James Reveler behind him for as long as possible. On board with Freddie Gallagher. He's caught up with Chris Skivier. So it's Cousins, gap then to Ward, Reveler. And Reveler's looking for a way by now. Down at Chapman's, Oscar John Cook to the inside of David Longman. And I think that's for about 14th place. Lasaw under pressure from Oscar John Cook. David Longman. William Murray. Richard Ward responds to the challenge of James Reveler with the fastest lap. Luke Cousins' lead is down to 0.6 of a second, and Reveler's picked up the tow and passed Ward into Christmas corner. So has James Reveler got speed to burn to run down Luke Cousins for a 2nd win of the day. Percox under pressure from Daniel TRUMAN. Glen BEARD is towing. Andrew Green up to Percox. TRUMAN down the inside, side by side with Percox, who's over the grass. Is TRUMAN going to wave her back through? I think he has, but he's desperate not to let Glen BEARD or Andrew Green through. He's lost quite a bit of ground there on Percox, trying to avoid a penalty. No board out at start finish. Now he's got a train behind him that includes Jamie Armstrong, final 1 winner, getting a run here on Andrew Green. Green making it very narrow. How narrow is that? Barely a cart width. and nothing at the apex. Oliver Knighton gets a run round Armstrong. Green forcefully holding on to his position in 8th place. Knighton up to 9th. Armstrong down to 10th. Darvill in 11th. Gap then to Ludlam. Lasore ahead of Oscar John Cook. Here comes Lasore. Pressure from Oscar John Cook. David Longman. William Murray. Darvill looks to the inside. Can't get it done. And your race leader is Luke Cousins, but for how much longer? Reveler picking up the tow now in the slipstream up to Christmas Corner, I'd imagine. Harrison Darvill trying to close on to Jamie Armstrong in their fight for 10th place. William Murray under pressure from David Longman. Murray goes narrow. Oscar John Cook looking to the inside of Lauren Lasore. Thought Murray might have thrown one into Oscar John Cook at Christmas there. Instead, he's fallen back and onto the nose of David Longman. We're riding with Freddie Gallagher with Josh Petit ahead of us in 17th place. Longman's got a run on Murray, but he'll have to go the long way round. Oscar John Cook's gone through on Lasore. Gallagher's got a run on Petit down to Chapman's. Coming from a long way back, he's asked too much of his brakes and he's spun out. James Reveler moves on to the bumper of Luke Cousins, and the fight is on for the win in final 2. We're through half distance and it's down to 2 now, fighting it out. Richard Ward is keeping a watching brief half a second back. Reveler going for the lead up to Christmas Corner from a long way back, and he's through. Well, that was fairly easy, as Luke Cousins got an immediate response down at Ashby. Well, he's losing ground. It's over a car length now. Cross to Parker. Reveler appears to have speed to burn. Richard Ward actually closing in perhaps on Luke Cousins. The battle on for 4th place. Ricky Angel under pressure from Percox. Percox down the inside in the boot section. That's a lovely move from Rihanna. Clean as you like. And she's through to 4th place. The leading trio go through. Percox has already pulled out a cart length on Ricky Angel. He's got Daniel Truman moving on to his bumper. Up to Christmas Corner. Glen Beard has been fairly quiet through both finals, but he is running in 7th place. Useful points in the championship. He might find himself in 3rd place tonight. Percox conscious not to let Ricky Angel have a look down the inside into Parker, trying to pull out a margin so she can concentrate on going forward. Daniel Truman doing her a favour, moving through to 5th place. Now holding off Ricky Angel, allowing Glen Beard to get on his bumper and through. Knighton's going to have to go the long way round Ricky Angel. I can't see that working. He's prepared to do it though, and he's done it. So going backwards, Ricky Angel after coming forwards. He qualified on the front row for this final. Richard Ward moving on to the bumper of Luke Cousins and looking for a way by now. So Luke Cousins is struggling to stay in touch with James Reveler. Jamie Armstrong down the inside of Ricky Angel. And Andrew Green goes through. Some kind of problem for Ricky, I think. It is the end of the day. Perhaps he's run out of brakes in that kart. Oh, off the road. And Andrew Green spins out, distracted by Oliver Knighton's off. That's a sloppy way to go out of a final. Ludlam looking to the inside of Harrison Darvill. Can he get it done? I think he has. Oh, and Darvill falls off as well. What a shame. And down the inside of Daniel Truman, Glen Beard. Well, it's all kicking off here. The leading 3 are out front. 5 seconds back to Rihanna Percox in 4th place. William Murray has got past Lauren Lasore, and he moves up to 12th. Richard Ward to the inside of Luke Cousins for 2nd place, and he's through. Glen Beard coming through ahead of Daniel Truman. Glen Beard up to 5th. Pusher cart's getting plenty of work right at the end of the day here. After a crazy couple of laps. Yellow flag out down at Chapman's. And that'll be for Harrison Darvill. James Reveler continues to lead ahead of Richard Ward. Luke Cousins gap then to Rihanna Percox in 4th place. Glen Beard, Daniel TRUMAN, Oliver Knighton, Jamie Armstrong, Ricky Angel, James Ludlam coming through in 10th. Gap then to Oscar John Cook, William Murray, all crossed up, as he has been throughout. Ahead of Lauren Lassaur and David Longman. Josh Petit trying to find a way past Dominic Green there. And it looks as though Longman's got past Lauren Lassaur for 13th place. Will there be a response from Lauren? Well, we're at the end of the day. The sun is beginning to set. Dominic Green has got around Chris Skivia for 15th. Chance for Petit. It's been a great day's racing in Club 100 at Whilton Mill. We'll be coming back here for one more round this season. Next round is Buckmore Park in 4 weeks' time. A rare August visit to Buckmore Park. You can watch it all here on Just Racing Magazine. Now in HD online. Rihanna Percox under pressure from Glen Beard. Into turn 1. Glen Beard trying to get a good exit, get the momentum, pick up the slipstream, and I think he's got it. Can he throw one down the inside into Christmas corner? He has. He goes a long way in though. Has to square it off, and Rihanna Percox stays in 4th place. Kept her cool there. Now a chance for TRUMAN to launch one down into Glen Beard at Ashby. Not close enough. Oliver Knighton has got it back together. So we've got a 4-way dice for 4th place. Coming round to start the final lap. James Reveler's lead is 1 second ahead of Richard Ward. Glen Beard tries again on Rihanna Percox. It's unconvincing, and Percox is having none of it. Luke Cousins is heading for 3rd place. More points lost to James Reveler, but not that many. He's staying in the title hunt. Glen Beard this time I think has got a run on Rihanna that she won't be able to defend, especially with Daniel TRUMAN getting on his bumper and pushing him through. So Percox down to 6th place. Glen Beard in 4th place, off the podium. Daniel TRUMAN, good points for his championship as well. Ooh, Beard runs a long way into Ashby. He's slow off the corner. This could be a chance for Percox to get on his bumper to get back past Daniel TRUMAN, and she's done it in uncompromising style. Knighton does the pair of them though, so she's back in 6th place. You've not been missing anything up front. It's James Reveler heading for a 5th win of the season. 5 wins, 2 seconds in 7 starts. That's a Purple Championship winning patch, if I saw one. Richard Ward takes his first trophy in Club 100 with 2nd. Luke Cousins keeps the deficit to Reveler to 33 points with 3rd. Glen Beard is 3rd in the championship.
Driver 25, Luke Cousins. Runner-up, then driver started on grid number 4 to finish runner-up, gaining 127 championship points. Congratulations, driver number 1, Richard Ward. He's a regular name standing on this top spot in this class this year. He's not only got won this race, he's got fastest lap as well, 53.46. As I say, starting grid 5, came through to win the race by 1.5 seconds over Richard here. Congratulations, your race winner, driver number 9, James Reveler. Okay, big smiles please guys on that podium. Especially you, Richard, it's your first time there, sunshine. Okay, well done, another round of